Hey guys, Kelly Nichols here with Nichols Naturals Wellness. So I just got back from a retreat and we were talking all about different kinds of relationships in our lives. And one of the big themes that was running through was beauty. And this isn't something that I have normally talked about in the public space, but I decided, well, maybe it's time to do a video about it because we all have those things about ourselves that we don't like or we wish were different, but the fact is they're part of who we are and it's part of what makes us unique and special. So I have this birthmark on my face that I've had obviously since birth, and sometimes I can wrap my head around calling it a beauty mark, but often I just refer to it as a birthmark. And something for a lot of my life I had been really self-conscious about because I'm like, it's on my face. So anytime I'm meeting people, like obviously they're gonna see it. And I was thinking back about the moment that I really became aware of this birthmark, like hyper aware of it. And I could pinpoint it back to when I was about 7 years old and we were staying with my aunt and she was tucking me in at night and she leaned down to give me a kiss on the cheek and she said, "Don't worry, honey, when you're 18, you can get that thing surgically removed from your face so you don't have to worry about it anymore." And I think really, I mean, I was 7, right? So we don't really think about those kinds of things at that age. And in that moment, I became hyper aware and I decided that, man, I must be ugly with this thing on my face. So for years and years, I was super self conscious about it and really considered myself to be ugly. And I was like, well, no boys are ever gonna like me because I have this gross thing on my face. And that stayed with me for a very, very long time. And it was probably maybe around my senior year of high school that I started to care a little bit less about it. Like, I didn't see it every single time I looked in the mirror and, like, wish that it wasn't there. Um, I mean, I just started to wrap my head around it. Well, this is part of my face, and I don't want to have surgery to get it removed. And, it just makes me more unique. And so that sort of carried through in college, and I just got more confidence around meeting people and not shying away and thinking like, oh, they must think I'm so hideous with this thing on my face. And especially once I got braces off in high school, it was like, okay, oh, I have a nice smile now, so maybe they'll see that and look at my eyes. And it's been really funny in my adult years. There's been some people that I've known for months, and then all of a sudden one day they'll be like, oh, what'd you do to your face? Did you scratch yourself or did you hit something? And I'm like, you've known me for a while. Like, is this really the first time that you're noticing this? And they'll go, yeah, I haven't seen it until today. And I'm like, okay, so maybe it really was that the less I started paying attention to it, the less others were outwardly noticing it as one of the first things about me. And for years growing up, like, I'd have to explain it. And even now, like, it's funny, like, if there's like a little kid, because kids say anything, they come up and they're like, oh, did you fall down? Did you hit yourself? It's like, no, just a birthmark, just a beauty mark. So there's always things about ourselves that we perceive as flaws, and maybe to other people they don't see them that way, and maybe they see it as a way that helps enhance our beauty. And it's important to see those things in ourselves, and it can be hard to do that. We tend to be our own worst critic. So a really great practice that you can try on is looking in the mirror every day when you wake up, and instead of going, oh my god, I'm having such a terrible hair day, or like, what's going on with my eyebrows, right? Just say something nice about yourself. What's one thing that you're noticing that's beautiful? Maybe it's just your eyes. Maybe it's your smile. Maybe it's, that your hair is a hot mess when you rolled out of bed. And that's okay. And it's okay to appreciate that. And the more we appreciate those things in ourselves, the easier it is for us to start to see that in others. And then there's this beautiful ripple effect that happens. And they start to notice those things about themselves and in others as well. And then we're all living in this space of seeing and appreciating our own inner beauty. And then that can be reflected more in our physical appearance. Because the more that we really believe that about ourselves from the inside, the more it shows on our face, in our posture, right? Like we stand up a little taller, we feel more confident, we're not like slouching and slumping in and like, I hope no one sees me, right? We're not cowering away from life anymore. We're really stepping into our own spotlight. So I'd love to hear from you and what's resonating about this. And maybe there's something about yourself that you thought was a flaw, and then maybe now you can see it in a little different light. So leave me a comment, and maybe it's on my YouTube page, and I'd love to connect with you on that. So thanks for hanging out with me here. Talk to you soon.